Anthony Hartwig here with a Middle Ridge Volleyball Coach's Corner and a season preview with head coach Ron Lesko. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
All right, thanks for having me.
You got it. This Middle Ridge team has been exciting for years, and it looks like they're going to be just as exciting this year. Give us a little bit of a meet the team segment, some of the big names that you have on your roster, and maybe a couple of new faces that Middle Ridge fans need to know about.
Well, you would start with the senior class. That class will be led by Samantha Ouellette as our setter. 4-year returning letterman. I mean, she's going to let her again this year, so that'll give her a 4th year. Faith Snyder, another senior outside hitter. Anastasia Bussey is another player that's in that senior class who this is going to be her first year as a varsity player. She's going to be playing middle for us. Charlize Bonilla, she is going to be the libero this year. At least that's the way it looking right now. And then let's see who else. How many did I get there? Did I get the 4? And then Michaela Russell is going to be our DS and our backup setter for that senior class. And then after that, we have a good group of juniors to play on the varsity level. Would be led by Hewlett, then as an outside hitter, then Gianna Wilson middle. And then Brooklyn Gilardi is going to step in, play some varsity as a right side, looks like, and maybe as well Lily Marilillo as our another DS to see some action.
This is one of those years in the area of volleyball, coach, where a lot of schools are just looking to replace a setter, but you're not. You have a senior coming back, and Samantha Ouellette won the YSN Setter of the Year last year, put up amazing numbers, has been doing that, her whole high school career. What kind of a blessing is it to bring back a senior setter and to be able to have so much rhythm in your offense still this year to work with?
I mean, it's you're just so fortunate to have somebody with the experience that she has. She does such a good job of bettering the ball. For someone to take and play the leadership role that she does. I mean, she's in control out there. She's in command. She's calling the offense, running the offense, executing the offense. It's just great to have somebody like that. It's her 3rd year as setter because her first year, her older sister was a setter. She would actually played a DS position for us, but still gained that experience at that varsity level. And now since her sophomore year has just, accepted that role and has, like you said, performed at an extremely high level.
You have so much experience, senior and junior, so many upperclassmen that have kind of played a couple of years on the varsity level. When you look at your JVs, your freshmen, your sophomores, how much do you think this year is going to be so important for their growth, being able to play and practice with so many experienced players on this team?
Well, when they're playing in practice against those kids that are, it's an eye-opener for, our underclassmen to have Ava Hewlett hit at them, Gianna Wilson run a slide against them. Just the different, we're running 3 balls against them. It's an eye-opener, and for them to gain that experience trying to defend against them obviously just brings them up. When you have that quality varsity players that are there hitting against those underclassmen, they really don't have a choice but to get better. And they see what it's like, and they see what it takes to achieve that level, and then they know, hey, this is what we need to do to get better as well.
When we talk about your schedule, we'll start with the MVAC Scarlet Tier, which every year seems like it's one of the most highly contested conferences in the YSN family during volleyball season. And it doesn't look like it's going to change this year with, 3 or 4 teams that could legitimately have a chance at the championship. When you look at yourself in the league, what kind of things do you expect out of that Scarlet Tier this season?
You're always looking at those schools that we have a great conference. You lead it out. You have reserve. You have McDonald, Springfield. It'll be interesting to see what Caitlin is able to do this year. You know, she has a lot of coaching experience, took over the Springfield program, so I'm sure she's going to get them going the right direction. It's competitive. You know, you have to show up every night ready to play, or else you're going to be walking out of the gym with the loss.
And then when you think about your schedule outside of the MVAC, I know you beefed it up and you have a lot of teams on there that are going to prepare you for tournament time. Who are some teams outside of the MVAC that you're really excited to square up against?
That's a good way to put it. Prepare us for the for the end of the season, because yeah, we were fortunate enough to add some extremely competitive teams to our season. I mean, almost every one of them. Well, not almost every one of them is going to be a challenge. I mean, we tried to do everything we could to get all the competitive teams in our area on that schedule. And I mean, you could just go top to bottom. And the only one that I'm not too sure about, just because I'm not familiar with them, is Smithville. But they reached out and wanted to play us, so we're going to go that direction. So, but the other programs, I mean, just top to bottom. You go with Austintown, you have Girard, you got Crestview, Canfield. I mean, those are all quality traditional volleyball programs in this area, and every one of them is going to be a challenge. I mean, to pick one out and be, oh yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing these. They're all good, and they all have stud players that can step up and really beat you on their own. So you better come ready to play for every one of our out of conference games. Matches.
What kind of blessing is it as a coach to, I mean, not have to go too far to find quality volleyball to play outside of your conference? I mean, you don't have to travel to Cleveland or Akron to find really good volleyball. It's right down the road for you guys.
Yeah, like I think this area is a little underrated as far as quality volleyball in this area. I mean, you know, we traditionally have had Lakeview on our schedule. We play them every year. It's a battle to play them. Like I said, I think it's underrated. Like, this area is like the JO programs in this area do a great job of preparing these kids. And you got so many kids that are committed to those programs in the off season. And that just continues to increase the quality of volleyball in our area. It's a huge benefit. Just you go 20 minutes any direction from where we're at, and you're going to play somebody that's a quality program.
You consistently come back as the Middle Ridge head coach for volleyball, and the question is, what keeps you coming back? What has you have that drive to come back every year to coach this Middle Ridge volleyball team?
Well, I'm a volleyball person. I always have been. I used to coach at Struthers. I played for, I don't even know how many years, probably more than what I want to say on camera, but, I just enjoy the sport, and I love it so much that I really just want to be able to try and get kids excited about volleyball, teach them how to play the right way. We're a firm believer in our program of developing the entire volleyball player. It's not just like you're a middle hitter, you're an outside hitter. Sure, they play roles on the team, but in our practices, we focus on developing the entire player. Teach them how to play defense. Teach them how to play, run an offense at a higher level. And we don't want them to be one dimensional. So that's really our goal. That's what kind of brings me back. I just would love to continue to teach these kids to play an all-around game of volleyball.
You've been to other places. Like you said, you've coached at other places, but you found a home at Middle Ridge. Your daughter went through the Middle Ridge program. Yeah. For you, what has made Middle Ridge such a special place and made it feel like home for you as a coach?
Well, I mean, we chose to come to Mineral Ridge. I've been living in Mineral Ridge 25 years. I was fortunate enough to be able to step into the program a couple of years when they needed a coach to come in. The position opened. And then once I took the role, and I mean, there's good kids everywhere, but the students, players that we have in Mineral Ridge are just, I think, the best in the world. And really, that's what kind of brings you back. You know, every year you have to reevaluate. What are you going to do? Are you coming back? And then you just think to yourself, well, what about these kids? It's their senior year. Well, it's going to be their senior year, and it just kind of keeps you it keeps you motivated to come back and spend another year with those players, knowing that okay, this is it for them. This is their senior year.
When people talk about middle range, obviously you get a lot of credit because everyone knows that you're the head coach, but we know there are so many people behind the scenes that are helping you build this program and have helped you build this program. Who are some people behind the scenes, your staff and otherwise, that help you make this middle range program what it is?
Oh, it starts from our middle school program. We have Coach Alt down at the middle school who does a great job. She teaches fundamentals. They're very successful. And she works hard with those kids. She's got a lot of kids in the program, and she generates the excitement that's required at a middle school level to get kids involved. And then from there, we kind of move up to the high school level, and I'm blessed to have not only just two good assistants, like they're really, I've been friends with them for 25 years, probably, maybe even longer. With both Mark Snyder as the freshman coach, that's his title, but obviously he helps quite a bit all the way through the high school level, and also Katie Wright. And those two have such a tremendous amount of experience, and they bring that to practice, and they're constantly pointing things out to kids. And it just having three coaches with our experience in the high school level is just invaluable. It just is unbelievable how lucky we are to be able to work as a group. We're close, and we're all on the same page, and it's just an experience.
Game one is fastly approaching, Coach. So my wonder is, what are some things you want to see in the next week and a half out of the preseason before game one hits from your team?
Well, we have another scrimmage next week, and that's always a good way to evaluate where you're at. But we need to continue to improve on serve receive, and we're still trying to add some more things to our offense. And that's the thing that we need to focus on. We need to be able to pass the ball. If you can't pass the ball, you can't run a complex offense. It becomes very, very one-dimensional. So that needs to be focused. Being able to pass, serve, receive, which is key to three players that through this part of the season have really been able to step up. That would be Schneider, Hewlett, and Shirley Bonilla. Those kids have been key, and we're just going to continue to focus on passing the ball and then adding things to the offense to try and put wrinkles in, really to try and be able to move our middles out and away from the middle blocker from the other team. That's our focus.
Coach, I want you to give Middle Ridge fans, I know you get a lot of them, their shout out to when your first game is and when they can first come see the Rams play on the court.
Sorry, say that one more time.
Tell Middle Ridge fans when your first game is, when the first time they can come see you on the court.
Yeah, we open at home against Reserve, and obviously that's a big one. The home opener is the 22nd. It's in the evening. Reserve is going to come looking for us. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a great game. I hope we get everybody in the Ridge out to support us and root us on to victory.
There's no better team to open up the season against than the team that you're going to probably be fighting for the top of the conference, Coach. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today and giving us a solid preview of the season. We wish you the best of luck, and we can't wait to talk to you again real soon.
All right. Thank you.